Hi everybody and welcome to Get Indie Gaming, where today we're reviewing City of Brass, a game that leaves early access tomorrow May 4th, with it also finding its way onto the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. The footage here is taken from the PlayStation 4 version, with a review copy having been provided by the publisher prior to launch. City of Brass is a first-person adventure game named after and inspired by one of the chapters within the Middle Eastern folktale, commonly known within the Western world as the Arabian Nights. It's a story about a journey to an ancient and cursed city filled with supernatural beings, statues that come to life, and the bodies of its former inhabitants, all having been destroyed because of their greed. That's the basis for this procedurally generated game from Uppercut Games, and it's been put together by former BioShock developers. You play as an adventurer within the abandoned streets and hallways of the city within the aforementioned tale. Like its previous citizens, you're also cursed, having to relive your life over and over until you break the curse that remains on this once great metropolis. From the get-go, we've been impressed by the visuals and the overall art direction. It puts us in mind of the recently released Sea of Thieves, and given the developer's heritage, there's very much a feeling of BioShock running through the City of Brass, not just in how the rundown city looks, but also how it plays. Combat with your primary weapon being a scimitar feels weighty, measured, and swings with a distinctive movement unlike most other implements in similar games. Your secondary weapon is a whip, and this can be used to aid navigation Indiana Jones style, and it's also handy within combat where it can stun enemies, disable traps, and also ensnare your opponents before dragging them into contact with one of these nasty little things that litter the landscape. Sadly, at times, the whip is a moment of weakness. Its aiming mechanics can occasionally feel hit and miss, where you sometimes miss an anchor point or fail to set off a trap you think you've correctly connected with. Although in the grander scheme of things, this little issue isn't a deal breaker. While many are growing tired of procedurally generated games, and we see that here a lot within our comments section and our Twitter feed, its implementation with the City of Brass works tremendously well. Throughout our playthroughs, we didn't notice repetitive sections within the city. It always looked fresh, or as fresh as a place can be when it's reduced in parts to rubble. City of Brass also uses a clever number of roguelike elements, although given that it's constantly changing, the randomness within its generation means you're not going to be able to commit the map to memory. You can of course complete a level within a single run, although as the game progresses and the difficulty rises, they are harder to get past without having gained items and abilities as you get stronger from repeated playthroughs. In any case, for us the game offers a significant challenge, and there's no denying it can be hard to play, even after you've spent some of the loot you find upgrading your abilities. In a nod to this, the Blessings feature, implemented following feedback while the game was in early access, is available from the start. These options allow players to alter the game to offer a playstyle and level of challenge they desire. For example, you can decrease the number of traps, increase the amount of damage your character causes, and reduce the overall number of enemies you'll face. We're huge fans of this intelligent and empathetic approach in the game's overall difficulty. These options will open the City of Brass to a much wider base of players, while still appealing to those looking for that hardcore experience. A note, however, to the purists, using any of these blessings negates your score from inclusion within the leaderboard. This seems naturally fair enough, with the players going into this without these benefits, safe in the knowledge they're playing on a level field. On the flip side, City of Brass offers skillful gamers the opportunity to make the game even harder, with a burdens feature that's unlockable when you reach certain milestones. Via these, you can double your enemy's health, decrease the time limit on completing the level, and amongst a few more other options, double the number of traps in the missions, because the 700 or so you find in any given one isn't clearly enough for some people. Having these options locked at the start seems sensible. While in keeping with our review policy on Get Indie Gaming, we won't apply an arbitrary score to the City of Brass, although we are more than happy to recommend it to others as a solid, enjoyable, and wonderfully engaging experience. It's full of neat little touches which help us keep coming back to it, and given the forever changing nature of the maps, there's plenty replayability. Also, as we hinted at earlier, with your ability to change and alter the difficulty, it creates a wide range of player skill levels and playstyles which will broaden the City of Brass's overall appeal. City of Brass launches May 4th on the PC, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, priced at $19.99 US and $18.99 UK pounds. Thank you so much for checking this out and stopping by today. Clicking the like button does really help, and we're massively thankful for you in doing so. If you're new here, you should also subscribe and join an awesome community, 25,000 strong, that's totally dedicated to indie game coverage. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you here again soon for more videos.